Time having arrived, I call the regularly scheduled council meeting for March 28th to order. Please join me in saluting the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Brockton flag.
Item number 1, acceptance of the minutes of the March 14th, 2022 City Council meeting.
Accepted and filed.
Appointment.
President Thompson.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, I make a motion to take agenda items 2, 3, and 4 collectively, and to also act under suspension of the rules so we can act on these matters tonight.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. All in favor? All opposed? The motion passes. Madam Clerk.
Appointments. Promotion of Fire Lieutenant Brian M. Doten of the rank of Fire Captain in the Brockton Fire Department. Promotion of Firefighter Jonathan P.Rodenbush to the rank of Fire Lieutenant in the Brockton Fire Department. Promotion of Firefighter Edward Zine III to the rank of Fire Lieutenant in the Brockton Fire Department.
All right, councilors, the motions are on a roll call vote. Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Azak?
Yes.
D'Agostino?
Yes.
Farwell?
Yes.
Lally?
Yes.
Mendez?
Yes.
Minicello?
Yes.
Nicastro?
Yes.
Rodriguez?
Yes.
Tavares?
Yes.
Texera?
Yes.
Thompson?
Yes.
11 in the affirmative.
Appointments are confirmed. Councilor?
Yes, Mr. President, I make a motion for reconsideration in the hopes that it does not prevail.
Second.
All right, motion for reconsideration has been offered. All those in favor of reconsideration? All those opposed? Reconsideration fails. Congratulations. I'm going to call a brief recess.
Just sit in.
I'd hate to see it when that falls.
All right, we're back.
All right.
Madam Clerk.
Item number 5, appointment of Eddy Sanon of 228 West Chestnut Street, Brockton, Massachusetts, as a constable in the City of Brockton for a term of 3 years.
Referred to the Finance Committee.
Number 6, appointment of Wayne Lake, 56 Short Street, Brockton, Massachusetts, as a constable in the City of Brockton for a term of 3 years.
Referred to Finance.
7, appointment of Derby Droissant of 23 Florence Street, Apartment 2, Brockton, Massachusetts, as a constable in the City of Brockton for a term of 3 years.
Referred to the Finance Committee.
Number 8, appointment of Bernie Hassan of 26 Reese Circle Brockton, Massachusetts, to the Parking Authority for a 5-year term ending March 2027.
Referred to the Finance Committee.
Number 9, appointment of Jamie Hodge of 17 Stibbins Ave, Brockton, Massachusetts, to Zoning Board of Appeals alternative member for a 3-year term ending March 2025.
Referred to Finance.
Number 10, appointment of Dr. Larry Green of 937 Pleasant Street, Brockton, Massachusetts, as an alternate for the Council on Aging for a 3-year term ending March 2025.
Referred to Finance.
We have the report of the Finance Committee for its meeting on March 21st, 2022.
Accepted and placed on file.
Communications, number 12, from the Fire Chief recommending the promotion of Fire Lieutenant Brian M. Doten to the rank of Fire Captain in the Brockton Fire Department. This promotion is due to the retirement of Fire Captain John P. McDonald.
Accepted and filed.
From the Mayor recommending the same.
Accepted and filed.
From the Fire Chief recommending the promotion of Firefighter Jonathan B. Rodenbush to the rank of Fire Lieutenant in the Brockton Fire Department. This promotion is due to the passing of Fire Lieutenant Michael D. Mahoney.
Accepted and filed.
From the Mayor recommending the same.
Accepted and filed.
From the Fire Chief recommending the promotion of Firefighter Edward Zine III to the rank of Fire Lieutenant in the Brockton Fire Department. This promotion is due to the promotion of Fire Lieutenant Brian M. Doten.
Accepted and filed.
From the Mayor recommending the same.
Accepted and filed.
We have a communication from the Mayor appointing Eddy Sanon of West Chestnut Street, Brockton, Massachusetts, as a constable in the City of Brockton for a term of 3 years.
Accepted and filed.
Number 19, from the Mayor appointing Wayne Lake of 56 Short Street, Brockton, Massachusetts, as a constable in the City of Brockton for a term of 3 years.
Accepted and filed.
Number 20, from the Mayor appointing Derby Droissant of 23 Florence Street, Apartment 2, Brockton, Massachusetts, as a constable in the City of Brockton for a term of 3 years.
Accepted and filed.
Number 21, we have a communication from the mayor appointing Bernie Hassan of 26 Reese Circle, Brockton, Massachusetts, to the Parking Authority for a 5-year term ending March 2027.
Accepted and filed.
Number 22, from the mayor appointing Jamie Hodges of 17 Stebbins Ave, Brockton, Massachusetts, to the Zoning Board of Appeals alternative member for a 3-year term ending March 2025.
Accepted and filed.
Number 23, from the mayor appointing Dr. Larry Green of 937 Pleasant Street, Brockton, Massachusetts, as an alternate for the Council on Aging for a 3-year term ending March 2025.
Accepted and filed.
From the mayor informing the City Council that Robert Pelaggi is stepping down from the Parking Authority effective March 10th, 2022.
Accepted and filed.
We have a communication from the acting chief of police requesting authorizations to expend grant monies in the amount of $1,300 related to the 2022 Massachusetts Unwanted Opiate and Benzodiazepines Product Stewardship Program Funding Only Grant.
Accepted and filed.
Number 26, from the police grant coordinator requesting the attached grant award documents to be processed to allow the Brockton Police Department to expend $1,300 intended to fund the overtime of Brockton police officers to go to the Covanta Southeastern Massachusetts Resource Recovery Facility in West Wareham, Massachusetts, to properly dispose of said medications. The $1,300 was awarded as part of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts Department of Health's authorized med project to administer the 2022 Massachusetts Unwanted Opiate Product Stewardship Program Funding Only Grant.
Accepted and filed.
Number 27, from the mayor recommending the same.
Accepted and filed.
Number 28, from the CFO relative to the same.
Accepted and filed.
Number 29, a communication from the mayor in accordance with the general laws of Massachusetts, Chapter 44, recommending that the City Council authorize the total transfer of $75,000 from election personnel services other than overtime, $20,000, and auditor purchases of services, $55,000, to auditor mail purchase of service, $75,000. This transfer is necessary due to large mailing for 2 elections that were held this past year.
Accepted and filed.
Number 30, we have a communication from the CFO relative to the same.
Accepted and filed.
Number 31, we have a communication from the Executive Director of Operations of Brockton Public Schools requesting permission to submit a statement of interest to the Massachusetts School Building Authority for the Brockton High School located at 474 West Ave, Massachusetts.
Accepted and filed.
We have a communication from the interim CFO of the Brockton Public Schools relative to the same.
Accepted and filed.
We have a communication from the mayor recommending the same.
Accepted and placed on file.
We have a communication from the CFO relative to the same.
Accepted and filed.
Number 35, we have a communication from the mayor in accordance with general laws of Massachusetts, Chapter 44, recommending that the City Council authorize the acceptance and expenditure of the grant award in the amount of $1 million from the Commonwealth of Massachusetts Executive Office of Housing and Economic Development Legislative Earmark Funding Grant to the Council on Aging Legislative Earmark Funding Grant Fund. This earmark will be used to expand the Council on Aging facility to provide better social distancing with an enclosed structure and updated ventilation improvements.
Accepted and filed.
Number 36, we have a communication from the CFO relative to the same.
Accepted and filed.
Number 37, we have a communication from the mayor in accordance with the general laws of Massachusetts, Chapter 44, recommending that the city authorize the transfer of $250,000 from retirement contributory to Plymouth County OPEB Trust Program, PCOT.
Accepted and filed.
Number 38, from the CFO relative to the same.
Accepted and filed.
Number 39, we have a communication from the mayor in accordance with the general laws of Massachusetts, Chapter 44, recommending that the City Council authorize the acceptance and expenditure of the grant award in the amount of $150,000 from the Commonwealth Marketing Partnership, Massachusetts Office of Travel and Tourism, Legislative Earmark Funding Grant to the Mayor's Office, Legislative Earmark Funding Grant Fund. This earmark will be used for the creation and installation of the Marvin Hagler statute.
Accepted and filed.
Number 40, a communication from the CFO relative to the same.
Accepted and filed.
41, we have a communication from the DPW Commissioner requesting that $1,400,000 be transferred from the Water Division's retained earnings to other contract services. This transfer is to cover the current deficit and to finish paying the remainder of the invoices for this fiscal year.
Accepted and filed.
42, we have a communication from the mayor recommending the same.
Accepted and filed.
43, a communication from the CFO relative to the same.
Accepted and filed.
Unfinished business, number 44. Appointment of Marcelin Ulysse, 10 Longworth Avenue, Unit 9, Brockton, Massachusetts, as a constable in the City of Brockton for a term of 3 years. In City Council, February 28, 2022, read and referred to the Standing Committee on Finance. That report was favorable.
Counselor Farwell.
Mr. President, I would move that we take items 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, and 50 after they're read and act on them collectively.
Second.
Well, on the motion,
On the motion, Counselor Thompson.
just as per my statement about in the last city council, I have to recuse myself from 44. So if maybe we could just do 44 where I can recuse, and then 45 through 50 under, collectively.
Mr. President, I would then, I would rescind my earlier motion, which I don't think had a second, and go 45 through 50 collectively after read. Let 44 stand on its own.
So let's take
Second.
the call on 44 first, then.
Yeah, we'll take the call on 44, but the motion's made and seconded.
This is for item number 44. Azak,
Yes.
D'Agostino,
Yes.
Farwell,
Yes.
Lally,
Yes.
Mendez,
Yes.
Minicello,
Yes.
Castro,
Yes.
Rodriguez,
Yes.
Tavares,
Yes.
Texera.
Yes.
10 in the affirmative.
The appointment is confirmed. There's a motion made and seconded on the floor to take the next couple items collectively. All in favor? All opposed? The motion passes.
Number 45, appointment of Eddy Sanon of 48 Westland Street, Brockton, Massachusetts, as a constable in the City of Brockton for a term of 3 years. In City Council, March 14, 2022, read and referred to the Standing Committee on Finance. That report was favorable. Number 46, appointment of James Andrews of 19 Hazard Street, Brockton, Massachusetts, as a constable in the City of Brockton for a term of 3 years. In City Council, March 14, 2022, read and referred to the Standing Committee on Finance. That report was favorable. Number 47, appointment of Juan Delos Santos of 127 Downey Road, Brockton, Massachusetts, as a constable in the City of Brockton for a term of 3 years. In City Council, March 14, 2022, read and referred to Standing Committee on Finance. That report was favorable. 48, appointment of Jordell Daniels of 217 Nielsen Street, Brockton, Massachusetts, as a constable in the City of Brockton for a term of 3 years. In City Council, March 14, 2022, read and referred to Standing Committee on Finance. That report was favorable. 49, appointment of Laura Blechler of 37 Fern Ave, Brockton, Massachusetts, to the Brockton Community Access Board for a 3-year term ending March 2025. In City Council, March 14, 2022, read and referred to the Standing Committee on Finance. That report was favorable. 50, reappointment of John Condon of 45 Woodand Drive, Bridgewater, Massachusetts, to the Brockton Retirement Board for a 3-year term ending March 2025. In City Council, March 14, 2022, read and referred to the Standing Committee on Finance. That report was favorable.
The question is on confirmation by a roll call vote. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Azak.
Yes.
D'Agostino.
Yes.
Farwell.
Yes.
Lally.
Yes.
Mendez.
Yes.
Minicello.
Yes.
Castro.
Yes.
Rodriguez.
Yes.
Tavares.
Yes.
Texera.
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
11 in the affirmative.
The appointments are confirmed.
Number 51, ordered that the City Council accept the provisions of Chapter 44, Section 53F and a half of the M.GL establishing stormwater as an enterprise fund, effective fiscal year 2023. In City Council, March 14, 2022, read and referred to the Standing Committee on Finance. That report was favorable.
The question is on adoption by a roll call vote. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Azak.
Yes.
D'Agostino.
Yes.
Farwell.
Yes.
Lally.
Yes.
Mendez.
Yes.
Minicello.
Yes.
Castro.
Yes.
Rodriguez.
Yes.
Tavares.
Yes.
Texera.
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
11 in the affirmative.
The order is adopted.
Number 52, ordered that the City Council accept the provisions of Chapter 44, Section 53F and a half of M.GL, establishing an enterprise fund for the Brockton Parking Authority as effective fiscal year 2023. The enterprise fund will include the balance as of June 30th, 2022 in the following accounts: Parking Enforcement Revolving Fund, Parking Meter Reserve Fund, and Garage Revenue Reserve Fund. In City Council, March 14, 2022, read and referred to Standing Committee on Finance. That report was favorable.
The question is on adoption by a roll call vote. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Azak.
Yes.
D'Agostino.
Yes.
Farwell.
Yes.
Lally.
Yes.
Mendez.
Yes.
Minicello.
Yes.
Nicastro.
Yes.
Rodriguez.
Yes.
Tavares.
Yes.
Texera.
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
11 in the affirmative.
The order is adopted.
Number 53, ordered that the City Council of the City of Brockton petition the Great and General Court for special legislation relating to the City of Brockton to be filed with an attested copy of this order, be and hereby is approved on the provisions of Clause 1, Section 8 of Article 2 as amended of the Articles of Amendment to the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts as follows. Petition for special law relative to bidding requirements for a certain affordable housing project in the City of Brockton. Be it enacted by the Senate and the House of Representatives and the General Court assembled, and by the authority of the same as follows. Provided that the General Court may reasonably vary the form and substance of this requested legislation, which shall be within the scope of the general public objectives of this position. Be it enacted by the Senate and the House of Representatives and the General Court assembled, and by the authority of the same as follows. Section 1, construction and development activity related to redevelopment by the Brockton Housing Authority or by a limited liability company or limited partnership controlled by the Brockton Housing Authority of the federally assisted Campello high-rise located at 1380 Main Street, Brockton, Massachusetts, Assessor's Parcel ID Map 117-034 and 117-003 in the City of Brockton, or any part thereof or subsequently added to parcel, shall not be subject to any general special law related to the procurement and award of contracts for the planning, design, construction management, construction, reconstruction, installation, demolition, maintenance, or repair of buildings by a public agency, but shall be subject to sections 26 to 27H inclusive of Chapter 149 of the General Laws, prevailing wage. A conveyance of the project, whether by leasehold or fee estate, to an urban redevelopment corporation organized pursuant to Chapter 121A of the General Laws, or to a nonprofit state and federally tax-exempt corporation organized for the purpose or to a limited partnership or limited liability company whose primary purpose is revitalizing the progress, shall be subject to 30B of the general laws to the extent that the project is conveyed to an entity that is not owned, controlled, or managed by the Brockton Housing Authority on the date of the conveyance. Section 2, the provision of this act shall take effect upon passage. In City Council, March 14, 2022, read and referred to the Standing Committee on Finance. That report was favorable.
Questions on adoption by a roll call vote. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Azak.
Yes.
D'Agostino.
Yes.
Farwell.
Yes.
Lally.
Yes.
Mendez.
Yes.
Minicello.
Yes.
Nicastro.
Yes.
Rodriguez.
Yes.
Tavares.
Yes.
Texera.
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
11 in the affirmative.
Councilor Nicastro.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move for reconsideration in the hopes that it fails.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All in favor of reconsideration? All opposed? Reconsideration fails.
Thank you.
Number 54, order that the City Council authorize the acceptance and expenditure of the total grant funds in the amount of $14,930 from Commonwealth of Massachusetts Executive Office of Public Safety, $14,930, to City of Brockton Fire Department FY 2022 Community Safe Program Fund, $11,275, City of Brockton Fire Department, the Senior Safe Program Fund, $3,655. In City Council, March 14, 2022, read and referred to the Standing Committee on Finance. That report was favorable.
The question is on adoption by a roll call vote. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Azak.
Yes.
D'Agostino.
Yes.
Farwell.
Yes.
Lally.
Yes.
Mendez.
Yes.
Minicello.
Yes.
Nicastro.
Yes.
Rodriguez.
Yes.
Tavares.
Yes.
Texera.
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
11 in the affirmative.
The order is adopted.
Number 55, order that the City Council appropriate the amount of $3,633,858 for the purpose of paying costs of purchasing 3 fire apparatuses and the payment of costs incidental related thereto. To meet this appropriation, the City Treasurer, with the approval of the Mayor, is authorized to borrow said amount under GL Chapter 44, Section 7, Subsection 1, or pursuant to any other enabling authority, and to issue bonds or notes of the city therefore. Further order that the City Treasurer is authorized to file an application with the Commonwealth of Massachusetts Municipal Finance Oversight Board to qualify under GL Chapter 44A, any and all bonds or notes of the city authorized by this vote, and to provide such information and execute such document as the Municipal Finance Oversight Board of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts may require. In City Council, February 28, 2022, read and referred to the Standing Committee on Finance. That report was favorable. In City Council, March 14, 2022, passed their third reading by a hand vote. Question is on final passage.
The question is on adoption by a roll call vote. The clerk, please call the roll.
Azak.
Yes.
D'Agostino.
Yes.
Farwell.
Yes.
Lally.
Yes.
Mendez.
Yes.
Minicello.
Yes.
Nicastro.
Yes.
Rodriguez.
Yes.
Tavares.
Yes.
Texera.
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
11 in the affirmative.
Mr.
The order is
President,
adopted. Councilor Nicastro.
motion for reconsideration in the hope that it fails.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All in favor of reconsideration? All opposed? Reconsideration fails.
Orders. 56, ordered that the City Council authorize the acceptance and expenditure of the total grant funds in the amount of $13,000 from the Massachusetts Unwanted Opioid and Benzodiazepine Product Stewardship Program FY 2022 Community Safe Projects Grant Program, $1,300, to City of Brockton Police Department FY 2022 Community Safe Project Grants Program Fund, $1,300. These grant funds will be used for the Brockton Police Department Safety Projects Education Program.
Referred to the Finance Committee.
Number 57, corrected order, that the following named sum be and the same is hereby transferred as the same was submitted by the mayor as follows. Transfer of $75,000 from election personal services other than overtime, $20,000, and auditor purchase of services, $55,000, to auditor mail purchase of services, $75,000. This transfer is necessary due to large mailing of the 2 elections that were held this past year.
Referred to Finance.
Number 58, ordered in accordance with M.GL Chapter 44 that the City Council authorize the superintendent to submit to the Massachusetts School Building Authority the statement of interest form dated March 15, 2022 for the Brockton High School located at 470 Forest Ave, Brockton, Massachusetts, which describes and explains the deficiencies in priority categories as delineated on the attached addendum for which an application may be submitted to the Massachusetts School Building Authority in the future. Brockton High School, full renovation, and hereby further specifically acknowledges that by submitting this statement of interest form, the Massachusetts School Building Authority in no way guarantees the acceptance or approval of an application, the awarding of a grant, or any other funding commitment from the Massachusetts School Building Authority, or commits the City of Brockton to filing an application for funding with the Massachusetts School Building Authority.
Councilor D'Agostino.
Mr. President, I make a motion that we vote on this item this evening under a suspension of the rules. I'd like to just give a little bit of information for folks at home watching. The application to the MSBA for a renovation of Brockton High, this will be our 3rd time submitting this. And basically, you never get through your first time. And we have talked to them in the past when I was on the school side, and they kind of indicated you're going to have to apply a few times. They see the need. There was nothing wrong with the application, just that they only have so much money and they have a lot of projects that are being applied for. And so, again, we just have to keep submitting this application. So this may not be the last time we see this. This will be our 3rd try. So I did get a question from a fellow counselor about the urgent need program. And unfortunately, if you can believe it, the high school is not actually in poor enough condition to qualify under that program. So as much as there is a great need for a comprehensive renovation of the high school, it's not that bad or not bad enough to qualify under the urgent need program. So at any rate, we'll keep pushing forward on this, and eventually our number will come up and we'll get this done. But so again, I ask that we, because there are time constraints on getting our vote in and then back to the school side and then off to the MSBA, I ask that we suspend the rules and vote on this item this evening.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to take this under suspension of the rules and act on this tonight. All in favor? All opposed? The motion passes. Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Azak.
Yes.
D'Agostino.
Yes.
Farwell.
Yes.
Lally.
Yes.
Mendez.
Yes.
Minicello.
Yes.
Nicastro.
Yes.
Rodriguez.
Yes.
Tavares.
Yes.
Texera.
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
11 in the affirmative.
The order passes.
Number 59.
Councilor D'Agostino.
Mr. President, I move for reconsideration in the hopes that it does not prevail.
Second.
Motion for reconsideration has been made and seconded. All in favor of reconsideration? All opposed? Reconsideration fails.
Number 59, ordered that the City Council authorize the acceptance and expenditure of the total grant funds in the amount of $1 million from the Commonwealth of Massachusetts Executive Office of Housing and Economic Development Legislative Earmark Funding Grant to Council on Aging. This earmark will be used to expand the Council on Aging facility to provide better social distancing within an enclosed structure and updated ventilation improvements.
Referred to Finance.
Number 60, order that the following named sum be and the same is hereby transferred as the same was submitted by the mayor as follows. Transfer of $250,000 from retirement contributory to Plymouth County OPEB Trust, Pequot.
Referred to the Finance Committee.
Number 61, order that the City Council authorizes the acceptance and expenditure of the total grant funds in the amount of $150,000 from Commonwealth of Massachusetts Marketing Partnerships, Massachusetts Office of Travel and Tourism Legislative Earmark Funding Grant to Mayor's Office. This earmark will be used for the creation and installation of the Marvin Hagler statute.
Referred to Finance.
62, order that the following named sum be and the same is hereby transferred as the same was submitted by the mayor as follows. Transfer of $1,400,000 from Certified Retained Earnings Water to Department of Public Works Water other than contracted services.
Referred to the Finance Committee.
Number 63, order that pursuant to M.GL Chapter 40, Section 4, the City Council authorizes the mayor to execute an intermunicipal agreement with the town of East Bridgewater for treatment of wastewater.
Referred to the Finance Committee.
Number 64, whereas world events have caused a significant increase in prices for ordinary goods and products consumed by residents in all communities, including the City of Brockton, and whereas for the fiscal year ending last June 30th, 2021, the state reported the following: surplus of more than $5.86 billion in tax revenue, state comptroller. Whereas on March 18, 2022, the Commonwealth of Massachusetts issued a mid-March 2022 report indicating significant revenue beyond that which was received the prior year period as follows. 1, $75 million in regular sales tax, up $25 million versus the same period in March 2021. 2, $27 million in meals tax, up $16 million versus the same period in March 2021. 3, $51 million in motor vehicle sales tax, up $6 million versus the same period in March 2021. Ordered that the City Council specifically request our state legislative delegation file and support legislation which will reduce or suspend the 24-cent tax on a gallon of gasoline to provide relief to residents of the city and the Commonwealth. Provided further that upon approval, the city clerk shall forthwith transmit to members of the legislative delegation a copy of this order.
Referred to the Finance Committee.
Number 65, that the city hereby accepts as a gift from Route 24 Realty Trust 3.5 acres of land, which is situated just east of Route 24, north of the City of Brockton boundary and west of the Brockton Reservoir on South Street, Avon, Massachusetts, pursuant to M.GL Chapter 44, Section 53A.5. The mayor is authorized to execute any and all documents necessary to effectuate such gifts.
Referred to the Finance Committee. Councilors, do we have any other items before councilors' recognition? All right, I'd just like to go ahead and say something before we go to the rest of the council. I want to congratulate a couple of our colleagues on being awarded yesterday or recognized by the NAACP as phenomenal women in the community. And I want to take the moment to reflect on, we have 4, I think, phenomenal women serving on the council: Councilor Azak, Councilor Mendez, Councilor Tavares, Councilor Nicastro. And, I think the body is really supported by phenomenal women at the, at the Finance Committee meetings and here at the City Council meetings with Diane and Shannon. So I just wanted to say thank you to you guys and thank you, councilors, for what you guys are doing. The NAACP also honored a couple former councilors, members of the body, Councilor Beauregard and Councilor Cardozo. That's great. Any moments of personal privilege? Councilor Azak.
Thank you. I would like to remind everybody that we have an ordinance meeting tomorrow, which is Tuesday, March 29th. The meeting will be here in council chambers. I would also like to remind the public that a couple of items on our agenda are public hearings, and that during public hearings, they have the right to come in and speak on items, whether they're in support, in favor, or against them. They are, as long as they're the zoning ordinances. So those are the ones that are advertised, those are the ones that are public hearings. So I look forward to seeing everybody here tomorrow. And lastly, I would like to remind everybody to save the date for Keep Brockton Beautiful. I know I believe I announced it last week, but it is later than usual. It's the citywide cleanup will be held on Saturday, May 7th, and more information will be coming out soon. Thank you.
Thank you, Counselor. Any other moments? Counselor Farwell.
Thank you, Mr. President. Over the weekend, there was a young man who graduated from Brockton High School, lived in Brockton for many years, and he was killed in the parking garage collapse in Boston. Peter Monsini was a wonderful person. He was at my daughter's wedding, and when she was recently sick and had emergency surgery, he took time to bring flowers to her. When someone leaves us, we're all diminished, and I would just like to take a moment of silence for him. Thank you.
Thank you, Counselor. Counselors, any other moments of personal privilege? Seeing none, we are adjourned.